This is Josh here at Cody Co Farm, and today we're looking at two pepper varieties that are very well adapted to Florida growing conditions and can actually produce through the hot summer. So today is July 1st. We're in the full effect of the heat and humidity of the rainy season of Florida, and here you have right next to me some very productive pepper plants. So for myself, I've always found peppers, sweet peppers, to be a challenging crop to grow. What I would experience a lot of planting bell peppers or other types of sweet peppers is that you would put the transplants out and they could tend to kind of just sit there and stay the same height, grow a little bit, make a fruit and get stunted, and really not be very productive or useful to grow at all. Not to say you can't grow those types of peppers here, you certainly can. So I kind of went on a venture to try to find alternatives to be able to do well in the Florida garden. So after growing several dozen types of peppers, we've selected a few that we like, but these two in particular stand out as our favorites for reasons that I'm gonna explain. So the first thing we should mention is that sweet peppers are typically Capsicum annuum. That includes bell peppers and also jalapenos. Those are very annual type peppers, and pretty much any sweet pepper you've probably bought at a store is a Capsicum annuum. What's unique about both of these is that these are different species. This is Capsicum chinense, which is the habanero group, and this is Capsicum baccatum, which is a much lesser known species of pepper to North America, though many types of this are grown commonly in South America. Both of these pepper species, most of their representatives are very hot. And so what we have here are cases of unique sweet varieties within a group that's typically hot. And what I found is that hot peppers, a lot of the hot peppers are very easy to grow. So these basically have the resilience and heat tolerance and all the resistances that a lot of the hot peppers we're familiar with have, but they yield a sweet, nice vegetable fruit. So first we'll talk about this one. This is called Iquitos Sweet. So this is actually a habanero. It's a heatless habanero, but it's heatless. I can just eat this like a sweet pepper. It's not exceptionally flavorful, but it's pretty good. It's fine as a cooked up bell pepper, good in a salad. This is from the same group that you may be familiar with, the ají dulce peppers of Puerto Rico or the cachuchas of Cuba. These are sweet habaneros. Now what's unique about this particular one is it was sourced along the Amazon River, and I'd like to thank my friend Brian from Rain Dance Seeds for sending us these seeds originally. You should check out his website. So what's unique is this is very, very, very resistant to heat, diseases, humidity, all the things we experience here in Florida that are so problematic. You can see these plants are very happy and healthy under these conditions. And these can actually go on to live for a few years. Now they do decline in health around a year, year and a half, 2 years, but they can go on to produce for more than a year, especially if you're taking care of them and keeping up the nutrition. And what the other thing that's unique about this variety is just how large they are. I don't know of any other Capsicum chinense quite this large, even the hot ones. So you might actually mistake this for like a bell pepper type pepper because it's so large. Very big. So that's this one. Fantastic. It's a pepper from the rainforest, and right now it feels like a rainforest out here. So this is the kind of genetics that we want to tap into. There's plenty of sweet habanero varieties out there, and of all the ones I've grown, this is the most impressive. So then we'll move on to this one. This one, like I mentioned, is a Capsicum baccatum, a different species of pepper. This would typically not find its way into your garden, this whole species, and most types of it are very, very hot. This one, again, is a fluke. This is totally sweet, and it's very much like a bell pepper. Now, this one is a better quality pepper than this one. Very sweet, rich, basically tastes like a fully ripened lunchbox pepper or a bell pepper. You can see here, pretty thick walls on this. Very nice crunch, body. Sweet, very sweet, and not a trace of heat. In fact, with your eyes closed, you would probably think you're eating a fully ripened sweet bell pepper. Now this one is definitely an annual, but it's a long-lived annual, and it takes a long time to start fruiting. But this plant can live for probably about 6 months. Now what you see here is that it's all flopped over. The problem with this one is it actually makes so much fruit that it snaps the plants over. I've had a lot of snapping going on in this crop because it's so loaded with fruit. So this one needs to be staked or trellised in some way because it's just so robust and productive. This one, super resistant. I think that the critical thing about this one is it's resistant to nematodes, and I think that's what probably is a big problem with the typical sweet peppers. I've had this actually get like chest high on me, like a tree. It's a woody, thick kind of a bush, and it likes to get very large before it starts to set fruit. So what you can see here are hundreds of very nice sweet peppers. This would be a great amount for a family to have for the whole season. And it's the middle of July. Most of the sweet peppers are gone by now. So these are really unique. I just thought it would be valuable to highlight these to people. We offer seeds of this in our seed catalog. We're trying to really keep these in stock at all times. You can grow these most of the year. Now the CAP 455 really excels more in the shoulder seasons of fall and spring, but it can grow in the summer too, especially if it's getting good care. And the Iquitos is kind of a year-round thing. Declines in the winter, but can come back. And certainly good in the spring and the fall, and also really good in the summer. Now I should mention, if you stick these peppers out in sandy, kind of random location, you're not going to get the results that you see here. This is a very nice raised bed vegetable garden with lots of fertility and water. And even these really resilient peppers like these, they need cared for. So you don't want to put these out in a random area. You want to really put them somewhere where you're taking care of them in your annual vegetable garden. But choosing these varieties will give you a big leg up on growing peppers. If you use the same practices you're currently using to grow sweet peppers and you switch to something like CAP 455, you're going to get much more out of it. At least that's been my experience so far. So hope you enjoyed this video. Glad to present these peppers that can produce here under our intense heat and humidity and resist our various pests and diseases. Hope you'll give these a shot in your own garden.